Well, John, it's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me into your home. And I'm Richard Neal, and I'm a musician. And I have numerous activities in the professional realm. I work in performance as a side man to a number of artists in a variety of genres of music. Everything from playing the 5-string banjo in bluegrass bands. That's how I know John. He's also a banjo picker, so we meet up once a week to make our joyous noise. I play various stringed instruments. Recently, the electric guitar at Sacred Heart University's in the pit band for their production of Jesus Christ Superstar. I have a recording studio. I produce principally songwriters, folios, collections of songs. I am a songwriter myself, and I perform solo, singing my songs around the area. And I'm currently studying songwriting at the Berklee College of Music in Boston. So, and a lot of the times what I end up with is a notebook first. Maybe it's just because we used to do cursive writing back in the day. So I grew up with a pen in my hand, so I still like to do that. So I'll have, the first draft of the lyrics typically on a notebook. And then when I get a bunch of them, which I have here, I'll transfer them to the text edit on the Mac, where they'll start lining up. And at that point, you can actually see what the shape of the lyrics look like. And if you want to look in that, that's sort of where they are now. Where you can actually see some of the forms anyway. It's not done, it's not finished. It's just a bunch of writing. Typically what happens when I transfer the notes from the notebook onto the text file, I always end up writing quite a bit more because the way that the forms line up here start suggesting, well, it looks like a song now and starts feeling like a song now. So there's quite a bit of writing that will generally take place. That's when I know I have one, because if I have if I have more material written than a song can hold, and usually most songs are 3 to 4 minutes traditionally, I know I'm going to be all right, because then I can eliminate stuff. And as a writer, you're always, whenever you start eliminating things and simplifying stuff, you always strengthen your work. So this is good, because I have a whole lot of stuff on this page. I could never use all of this, and that I know I'll end up with a song someday, because I can then simplify this and get rid of only what needs to be there. And typically what happens at that point, what needs to be there is revised and edited down again, and it just keeps getting simpler and simpler and simpler. But at this point, I don't have any music. I don't have any, I have a bunch of words, and that's about it. And a concept. The night Elvis died, and this narrator of this song is probably one of these characters that Randy Newman refers to as an unreliable narrator. So you want to be careful about anything that this guy says. We're not sure how much of this is fact or fiction or embellishment or whatever. But so what a lot of times what I'll do is to speak the rhythms when the lines are laid out like this, and try to get a certain kind of feel to the music, because if the words line up a certain way, that suggests rhythm patterns, and which will then can be transferred onto the guitar in terms of the chord changes and different grooves and the feel of the music, the tempo of the music. And in this case, as we're talking about Elvis, one of the tried and true techniques of songwriting is to base your idea on an existing song. You can't copyright chord changes, for example. So what a lot of people do is take a set of chord changes from something they like and kind of use that as a starting place. As long as the words and the melody are unique. There are lots of songs that have the exact same chord changes and progressions. So you can change the tempos and the feel of the music and kind of fuss with it a little bit. And if the song starts leading you somewhere, then you'll follow it there. And half the time it ends up sounding nothing like what you started with. But as a starting point, you know, this is one way to do it. So I'll speak the words and see what happens and see if we can maybe find a little groove on the guitar that would sound like something Elvis might have done back in the day. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so this guy says, 1977, August 16th, a night many people cried. I have to say I wasn't one the night Elvis died. It wasn't because I didn't love the king. I did, but I was otherwise occupied. I was in the arms of another man's wife the night that Elvis died. The king sang, "Love Me Tender." The king sang, "Don't Be Cruel." But when the king shook his hips, the king broke every rule. But then again, so did I. I was nothing but a hound dog on the night that Elvis died. So the rhythm of the words will have to be adjusted at some point, and typically, for me, I'll just start singing something. And this process can go on for a couple of minutes or a couple of years sometimes. But I kind of like this concept, so this is something I'll probably work on once the cameras stop rolling too. But, so what would Elvis do? Blue moon, blue moon, blue moon. Maybe something like that. Now, is that going to work? 1977, August the 16th, a night when so many people cried. I have to say I wasn't one on the night that Elvis died. That kind of works. It took it in a place that I kind of wasn't expecting it to, because I just started doing it. I didn't think about that too much, just kind of, especially this line, I'd say I wasn't one the night Elvis died. That's kind of interesting because the way that the phrasing lined up. When I was speaking that, it didn't work that way. I tended to just speak everything in one after the next. But that musical phrase is way more interesting to me, whatever it was. I'll have to check your footage, John, to remember what that was, because I don't remember what I did, which is why I usually sit with my Mac and my garage band running when I'm doing stuff like this, because I generally wouldn't remember, because I'm just improvising and making up off the top of my head. The king sang, "Love me tender." The king sang, "Don't be cruel." When the king shook his hips, the king broke every rule. But then again, so did I. When she was by my side, I was nothing but a hound dog the night Elvis died. That kind of works. So we'll see about that. We'll see where that goes. But that's sort of the idea. I'll just improvise on that, and something will suggest itself, and I'll listen to the tape or the file back, and this will be refined and refined and refined. I'm a big rewriter myself, so that first draft will serve as sort of a model or point me in the right direction, and I'll pick and choose out of some of those ideas and elaborate on them, and it may turn in a different key, may be a different tempo, because I'll probably try a couple different things, but right off the bat, that's that's all right by me. That would work.
Thank you.
Down that I actually know for you to go out. One that I like to sing recently, just because it seems to resonate pretty well. So if it's okay, I'll sing that one for you. It's called "Stand for Love."
Yes.
Stand for love. When you stand for love, you throw open wide the gates that divide and segregate. When you stand for love, when you stand for love, You are free from doubt and fear, from day to day and year to year, when you stand for love. You stand for the pledge, the anthem or a vow. If ever was a time to stand for love, it's now. If you stand for love, you won't try to build no wall. You will answer when love calls, if you stand for love. Love can't be blocked or locked up in a cage. Love knows neither race, gender, creed, nor age. Do you stand for love? Do you stand for decency, the truth, respect, and dignity? Do you stand for love? Yes, I stand for love. Are you going to stand with me for justice, peace, and harmony? Will you stand for love? Do we stand for love? Can we stand for love? Yes, I stand